Christ said, "Don't cast your pearls before swine, lest they turn around, trample upon the pearls, and turn on you to devour you." Now, in this video, I want to remind you that it's also written in the Old Testament that you shouldn't correct a fool, because the fool will hate you. And it says that when you chastise a wicked individual, you'll bring harm unto yourself. And today, you have many experts about narcissism, and they tell you clearly, never confront the narcissist. Those people that tell you never to confront the narcissist, many of them are not believers. Many of them have no knowledge of the Bible. But what they say reflects what's written in Scripture. Don't correct a fool and don't chastise the wicked. Why? Because you'll bring harm unto yourself. And the reason is very simple. They don't want to face anything. So when you make them face something, they'll retaliate as if you're the one that attacks them. That's why Christ said, "Don't cast your pearls before swine." And Christ gave the context, because when you do, they'll turn around, trample upon the swine, so they'll ignore what you said, and they'll retaliate against you as if you're the one that attacked them. So, what I'm saying in this video is, sometimes you need to remain quiet. Not because you shouldn't speak, but because it works better for the greater good. Look, this may be similar to a video I recorded before, but some things you need to repeat them. There are times you should open your mouth, especially when something isn't right. Look, if you're in a building and you suddenly smell smoke, then you should report to others that you smell smoke so that people can look what's going on. So maybe the building's on fire, okay? In such a case, you should open your mouth. If you remain quiet and later people die in the building, I'm not going to point a finger at you, but hey, when you sense danger, you should mention something. Because you get what I'm saying here. But there are times it's better for you not to open your mouth when it's necessary. Hear what I'm saying here. Let's say that you have relatives and they barely call you or ask about you. But when they need something, or they know where to find you, or when they want to complain about how bad their lives are going, how bad life is for them, they know how to call you also, to dump their negativity. But for the rest, they don't consider you. If this has been going on for more than 3 years, and despite you giving hints to them that you want to be considered also, they just throw it behind them, I'm telling you, don't say anything. Even if it's right for you to challenge their narcissistic attitude, it's far better not to do it. Why? Because they've shown unconsciously, they're not aware they've done it, but they've shown with the fruit of their behavior that they are self-focused and that they are not into solutions. Even if your complaint is legitimate, and even if it's right for them to repent, if you see that they have no intention whatsoever in solutions, then let them be in their filth. Because challenging their filth will trigger resentment inside of them towards you. And you don't need unnecessary violence against you. As a believer, you will face violence anyway because you follow Christ. You don't need an extra baggage of resistance against you. So when people don't want to face themselves, they never come up with solutions. Neither are they interested in participating in solutions. I'm telling you, keep your mouth shut. Because they are not worthy of your effort. Okay? Don't you know that there are times, even employers don't open their mouth. They are the boss, right? It's their company, or maybe they're a manager somewhere. But they know if they open their mouth against an employee and they challenge an employee, that employee may lose his mind or her mind, and it may cause a scene there in the business. And if a scene is caused, it will scare off customers and the business will suffer much loss. So the manager in this case will discuss the matter with his superiors, and they will find a way to fire the employee or to get rid of the individual, but they will not confront the individual directly. This direct, quote-unquote, honest attitude that many promote, it's dangerous. Self-defense itself is dangerous. If you do your research, you'll find out that many people ended up in jail for self-defense. There were people that were attacked. They didn't provoke anything. They were just attacked. And they used physical force to guard themselves from further attacks. And in using that force, they attacked the attacker, and the attacker died. Now, anyone who look at the situation would say, well, the individual puts you in danger, so the way you acted, it was out of reflex. But because there is anger in the community and people want something to be done, often the judges or the juries will decide, no, you should have walked away, you should have done this and that. They will find some excuse to lock you up. Why are they doing that? Because if they release you, acknowledge you as self-defense, the relatives of the one that died, though they often don't want to admit that the relative who died was wrong, they have pride. So if they release you and you're on the street, there's more danger in the street. So they will agree to lock you up even though it was self-defense. So self-defense won't keep you out of trouble. Even if you're right and the other deserved it, you will still face consequences. Even if you don't end up in jail, mentally you need to live with what happened. And you need to process it. And that can be difficult. There are times it's better for you in the long run just to keep your mouth shut and to walk away. Some people just want to explode. Some people think, let me say like this, there are people who don't have anything left to lose. And when worldly people have nothing left to lose, they lose it. So some people are about to lose it. They just want an excuse to explode. So they don't want any solution, just want to explode. Now, what do you do with such a self-destructive individual? You avoid that individual, and if necessary, you report them to the authorities so that they are removed, so they can't cause any harm to the community. But you're not going to confront them, nor try to manage them, if they are in the explosion mode. Because then you would be endangering yourself, and you shouldn't do that. That's why you should be alert with receiving advice from the world. Self-defense is a hoax. It will always cost you in the long run. The best thing is to walk away. And here's the thing. When you walk by faith and you operate in the power of Christ, you don't even have to think about self-defense nor defense at all. Because the strength of Christ himself will be at war with those who are at war with you. Yes, you make decrees and declarations, you do what you have to do, but when you walk by faith, the strength of Christ in which you walk will be at war with those who war against you. Okay? So you're not thinking about self-defense or what if this situation occurs. No, you're not thinking about any of that because you walk by faith and you set peace ahead of you. So you are anticipating things so that when things come near you, you don't even notice it. That's the way to do it. Please listen to what I'm saying here. There are times you should let the situation for what it is and shake it off of you. You shouldn't always deal with a situation. Look, there are people that say you shouldn't run away from your problems. You should face them. I understand what they're saying. You have people who just flee. Anything happens, they want to flee. They never want to face anything. Now, facing things is internal. You need to face things. That's your attitude. That's an internal thing. But talk about external circumstances, some circumstances you shouldn't face. So, if someone enters a shop with a rifle and he wants to rob the place, are you going to face that situation by dealing with that robber? No, because he has a gun and you can be killed, you can be harmed. So you're not going to face that situation. You face things internally. That means that's your attitude towards reality, that you acknowledge things, that you therefore also acknowledge that you need deliverance or you look for solutions. That's your attitude, but it doesn't mean that you have to face every situation. There are situations you just need to avoid. It's not only though to physical violence, okay? Sometimes Satan creates circumstances by using people, because Satan uses people, demons use people, okay? And those demons, they create circumstances that are toxic. And they do this because they know that some people will be fed up with it and they want to do something about it. And that's what demons want, for you to do something about it. And it can be that once you do something about it, the situation is resolved and people will be happy. But look at this. It's demons that create that situation through other people. Those people that they've used are not even aware that demons use them. So those people, they don't intend any harm, but still demons use them. So why did demons create that toxic situation? Because demons want you trapped in a cycle of self-destruction. Because by you dealing with that situation, you're now remembered as the one that took action. But what if the action you undertook is later resented by other people? And what if people that resent the right action you took now begin to take out their rage on others? Soon, you will have people in the community that will look for a way out, and if they keep hearing your name, if the perpetrators keep calling your name, sooner or later people are going to associate you as a cause of the rage of the perpetrators. So unconsciously, people are going to see you as the one that caused that situation. Even though you didn't cause it, it's just people that took offense at the right thing you did, whether the right thing was standing up and make plain that you don't take something, or where it was that you, I won't say chastise, but that you addressed something that had to be addressed. Whatever the right thing was that you did, there will be people that will resent it, and their resentment, because you're not around, they will take it out on others. And when those perpetrators will keep mentioning you, people are going to look at you. And sooner or later, you will have psychic attacks of people that will blame you, and this may even lead to years of stalking and further persecution. That's what demons often do. They create those toxic situations with a purpose to draw your attention, because they know very well that you will deal with it and you will deal with it successfully. So if demons know that you will deal with it successfully, why are they creating the situation? Because demons look at the bigger picture. They look at the long run. Demons want you trapped in the long run. That's why they come with incidents for you to deal with. And once you deal with the incidents, you dealing with those incidents the incident triggers you to do something about it. But it's you doing the right thing is a trap. The trap is you doing the right thing, because once you do the right thing, it will have further consequences towards you in the future that you're not aware of. Some of you who are listening to this message, you're now suffering psychic violence by people that blame you for things you said maybe 10 or 15 years ago. It can be, for example, that you had an aunt that was very dishonorable in how she treated people. And you were just 12 years old. And she'll make plain, aunt, I'm sorry about what is this? I don't take it. At the time, people realized what you said was true. And it's true indeed. But later, your aunt, who took offense at it, began to murmur and complain, and she became sick because of it. And now there are other relatives who now have to deal with a sick woman. And that woman made herself sick by holding on to resentment. But now those people who are emotionally attached to that aunt were also codependent. They don't want to face the horrible woman that she turned into. So now, because they want to deflect from the situation, they will blame you as if you're the one that made that aunt bitter. So now you have relatives that are secretly hating you, wanting to take you down because they don't want to face how their aunt is. Or it can be that you're at work and there is this female employee that's out of line, and you address her, you put her in a place saying, don't talk like that or whatever. Later, you find out that her boyfriend wants to come after you because he feels upset. Because that boyfriend is what they say in the world a beta male, who allows a woman to walk all over him. And that's his attitude. That is his unmanly attitude. He is emasculated, so he doesn't operate as a man. But you operate as a man, and at the workplace where the boyfriend wasn't there, when the woman was out of line, you put her in her place. You make plain, not going to happen here. And she did the right thing. But she now went home, kept complaining about you. And even if the boyfriend knows that you're right, because he's not manly enough to face her himself, he's not going to take out his frustration because he doesn't operate as a man on you. And sometimes it may even lead to homicide or to whatever. Some people will even file in police reports against you based on things that never happened, just to dump on you. They will file in fake police reports. And even if later it was proven that the police reports were fake, all the stress it costs you for having to go to court, all of that takes a toll on you also. So listen, you should address issues. I'm not telling you to keep running away from stuff. No. When you need to address something, you need to address something. But always look at the context. If the people around, because every defect in a community is enabled by the community for it to endure. If you see that the people around you are not interested in solutions, if you see that, then don't address the issue. Pray about it. Take actions behind the scenes. So just because you don't address something yourself personally doesn't mean you can't do something about it. Do something about it behind the scenes and stay clear from the situation and the people involved. I'm telling you that sometimes you just need to shut up, work behind the scenes through prayer, declarations, decrees. Sometimes you only are praying, making decrees, all of that. You do physical things about the situation, but you operate behind the scenes while you remain quiet so that you are free from the toxicity of the situation. Because when demons see that you have this character, that you deal with stuff, when you have this intolerance for BS, well, your intolerance for nonsense is what will kill you in the long run. Because now demons will use people who will trigger this resistance against nonsense, and because you are fed up, you do something about it, you're not trapped in a cycle of self-destruction. So, learn to shut up when you are being trapped. Agree with Christ.